Welcome to yet another edition of Big Board Battles. Today we have an exciting game for you. Undying Dynasties versus Highborn Elves. It's a 5,000 point game. And I take my Undying Dynasty list out for a spin. For those of you who have watched my videos in the past, you know that generally when I take Undying Dynasties, I used to take the Architect General option, which allowed me to use haughty as core. That is no longer available to me as an option. And so it necessitated going through and looking at the new options I had and the new way of list building and trying to figure out something that would work for my playstyle and for me in general. I tend to go with a multi-medium unit type builds for the most part, which the haughty core allowed me to put one of those blocks in core and have some central units there. But I've had to really adjust it, and I'm still messing with things, still trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. Let's get right to it, and we'll see how this iteration of my list does. Here you see deployment, and I will go through my list very quickly. I have in core two groups of skeletal archers, which you can see. Both have musicians, because there's no reason not to take a musician now that I don't have to test. They have two groups of chariots over on the other side there. I went for a castle deployment for the most part, as you can see. I also got a unit of horse archers, or skeletal scouts, I think they're called now. And they didn't scout up or anything. I needed them for chaff, so they are back there being chaff, ready to pounce out and protect my bubble. I took 8 haughties with paired weapons. I took 2 war kitties because they've always helped me in the past, and they're actually cheaper now, so that's nice. I have 2 skull catapults because I want to see how they'll do. I'm not sure this is the best list to use it against, but they do have a couple tempting targets there that I could shoot at. And 2 caskets. I went very light on magic. I have my only characters are Architect for regen on the haughties, and just a bare bones level, no extra spell, Hierophant wizard guy, who's more expensive than the bare bones used to be. And I also have to take evocation, which is a terrible lore. I did get ancestral aid, which will allow me to reroll spells, and I have the trait spell, which allows me to heal. My bound spell, my magic's mostly going to go to those caskets and maybe a heal, depending on what I need. And that's the strategy there. I'm looking across the field at me, and you got a high elf on a griffin. You have a unit of sea guard with a level 4 mage of divination in there. He has 2 giant eagles that are chaff. He has 2 groups of Knights of Rima, I think they're called, and they're scary. They are very scary. Strength 7 on the charge can hurt the kitty, which we don't want. Behind the watchtower there, he has 2 of his light units of elves. I don't know what they're called. And his general is on a chariot over there, and it's a white lion general or something. He's on a chariot with lions on it, which is cool, but, there it is. So he dropped everything first, and he gets to go first. Here is his first turn. He vanguards up those 2 units, and I tried even to deploy my chariots back, because I knew he was going to do this, but it wasn't enough, and he was able to get to the side of one of my guys. I didn't position well enough. I should have done better with that, but it is what it is. Those chariots aren't in very good positions right now. My Reapers are front and center. There's 3 of them. I had to use one of the pillars I usually use as a filler for the haughty, But there's three bases, and they are kind of holding the center there. I wasn't sure where I needed to go quite yet, and I wanted to threaten the flanks of all his archers, or all his horsemen, I should say. Those giant eagles are kind of looking at me, and yeah. Shooting goes amazingly well for him. Between magic and shooting, he's able to put 4 wounds on these guys. He's able to put 3 wounds on these guys and 2 wounds on those guys. Oh, so many shots, so many hits. And yeah, the magic didn't do much. The magic only did 2. I think it did the last wound to that chariot there, but it didn't do too terribly much for him. Nothing else happens, and we go to bottom of 1. And there you have it. Not too much movement. I kind of adjust things so I could see the 2 eagles so I can shoot at them. I place my vultures first group in such a way that he's going to have a hard... If he charges them, it's going to be front, and then he will go and he might impact my Shopti there, but it'll be DTs, and my Shopti with the regen on them, they'll be golden. I do charge with my chariots the back of his unit there, and I'm hoping I can overrun and get out of the way. He's on the hill. I didn't realize that at the time. I thought he was just off the hill, and so I was like, oh, I'll just be out of his line of sight, and all will be well. So that was a mistake on my part. Kitties move up, kind of looking at his sides there. I know he needs to come up because I have way more shooting than him. And my horse archer is just kind of getting a better position there. I keep my other unit of vultures in reserve, and we go straight to the shooting the magic. I do get my his caskets don't do the ancestral aid. He dispels that. I tried to get that off on a catapult, but he does. He does let me get through one of the caskets and also one of these, the heal spell from the evocation. So I do heal 2 wounds, and one comes back alive, and he has 2 wounds on it, so that's good. And caskets, even against high elves, when you gotta reach out and touch someone, you use a casket, and I did. And I did 3 wounds, and that's nice. He only has 1 more left. I'm excited. Okay. And this is what happens. I eat his chariot, his horse guys, and at this point I realize, oh no, he's right there, and I don't know why I didn't turn to face him so I wouldn't get charged on the flank. I didn't even think about it. I was just kind of rushing. It's my fault. he did a great job taking advantage of it, but I just face the general so I can do some shooting and stuff is the thought process that was going through my head. It's a terrible idea in retrospect. So we go to top of 2, and of course he charges the chariots, and he kind of moves those eagles up to do some threatening my chaff and things like that. He moves his griffin guy, swings to the side so maybe he can get a charge off on one of my kitties, and I'm good luck. His general, he realized he misplaced him, and it's doing the chariot thing, trying to get into where he can be relevant. The scenario, by the way, is control the center. So we're looking to have scores units in the center at the end of the game. That's important. Okay, and here's a better picture of that charge. And nothing really much happens in shooting, I don't believe, or magic, but he does just clobber. They came to play. I don't think they missed or failed to wound, and just smashed through my chariots, and I didn't even do anything back to him. Luckily, his overrun doesn't reach my chariots, so that's nice. Okay, so we go to my turn. I move up my Winged Reapers again, just to be able to have some options of if I want to go into that Sea Guard unit, or if I want to go into the side of those knights. I reposition my vultures at this point because I can. I move my horse archers up, thinking to get some more shots at his griffin and plink off a wound. And this turns out to be a mistake. And you'll find out why. I do move my chariots up, which get just out of the charge arc for his other unit of light horsemen. And I just kind of, again, just a positioning thing. I try to get one of my kitties in range for breath in case I want to get that last wound off of him. But I don't need to do that. One of my horse archers just sneaks a wound through, and he fails his armor and he fails his ward. And that's a dead griffin. So, hooray. I did use one of my catapults and do some damage to his Sea Guard unit, so it took a good chunk out. He passed his panic check, so there is that. And here's him moving. He does charge my vultures, which is fine, but he charges my horse archers too, and I realize if he gets a good overrun, he's looking at the flank there of my Shopti, and that is not fine at all. His one giant eagle, I think it charges something. No, it just, again, it keeps in the way of my winged reapers. I don't think he realizes they're flying at this point, but it is what it is. And so yeah, he charges my vultures and he charges my horse archers, and that's an issue. Better picture those charges. And on his magic phase, he miscasts! And he takes out another big chunk of those Sea Guard, which are awesomely painted, by the way. But, yeah, it really, really hurts. And he loses quite a few to that miscast. And during his shooting, though, once again, he's super on point with all his bows and stuff, and does 2 more wounds to my toughness 5 winged reapers, or tomb reapers, I don't know what they're called now. And they're back to having only 2 models on the board with that. He goes up, just runs behind my chariots and shoots them, plinking a wound, taking a model off. And he, of course, wipes out my horse archers, and he makes the charge. He does lose 3 guys to difficult terrain, so that's a blessing, but it's not enough of a blessing because he's in the side of my unit, and I don't know how this is going to go. They have regen, but that's all the save they're going to get against that strength 7 initial smash. My hope is I'll hold out and I can turn my kitties so I can get a charge off there and eat that unit, but it's going to be close. So here's bottom of 3. Here's what this looks like. He goes in. We didn't close the door because the tree's in the way, and we're like, we know where it is. And yeah, he does eat my vultures. He does overrun. He doesn't do enough to get into combat. So here's what I do. I move my, I don't know why I didn't charge in with my winged reapers, to be very honest with you. I probably should have, but I did not. I move my chariots up as much as possible. I'm not going to get out of these guys' range. I probably should have turned around to shoot at his horse archers, but I wanted to maybe get the general with some catapults, with some things like that. But we'll see. And during my catapult phase, my shooting phase, I plink a bunch of wounds off. They pass their panic check, so they're still there. This combat, brutal. After all is said and done, he lost 2, I lost enough, plus the crumbles, and I have 3 guys left. That's not a lot, but I'm still there, and I'm still holding on. Yeah, these guys are probably going to die because they're going to get flank charged. And there's top of 4. Well, he charges my vultures there, and just kind of moves around a little bit. He's definitely got a scoring unit near the center, and I'm hoping I can plink off. He's got 2 near the center right now, and I hope I can plink off at least 1. But I still got 3 turns to do this, so I'm holding out here, holding out hope. Yeah, this is a better picture of that. He does charge his burden, which I'm pretty sure was a mistake, but that's what he wanted to do, so I let him. He wanted that charge bonus. And Gorebeast! Gorebeast steps in because he knows this is an important battle and he needs to be there to hold on just 1 more turn. So Gorebeast pushes one of the Shabti out of the way and says, I'm in it to win it. And he is here to spread fear. Yeah, that's what happens when he kills my chariots. He does charge them in the flank and he eats them. And this goes about as good as you can expect. I don't take a single wound. Gorebeast is amazing. But he holds. He's still there. He holds. I kill his bird, and that gives me the free res I need. You know, I do kill one of his men too. Bottom of 4, I do charge in my kitties. Both of them, again, retrospect, I probably only needed to charge 1 in, but I was mad at those guys. He did kill my vultures, and he overran, hitting my reapers. Again, I don't know why I didn't move those guys. I should have moved those guys, but I didn't. But they're reapers, so, you know, still strength 7 on the charge. It's not going to be a good time for him. I don't really have much to do. I just reposition my archers, and there's a better picture of that charge. Again, the kitties are lined up where they would be. So as best we could do here. And I miscast, of course, on my turn. So that's nice, and I lose a bunch of skeletons. And I do eat that unit for breakfast. One of my kitties and my Shabtis, they just kind of overrun, or they pursue, I should say. Catch them, kill them, but don't quite make it to where I need to be. It was a long bomb, but if I'd rolled 11 or 12, it would have been the side of those horse archers before they charged my skeletons and my Hierophant. Oh, because the Hierophant's still in that unit. He is not safe. He's yeah, just mistakes were made. That is all. But not all is lost. I managed to get 2 wounds on his general, and so he's sitting there, you know, suffering, and I still have my Shabti unit, which is going into the side of these guys. My skeleton archers can just hold on. Just 1 turn. That's all I need. They don't hold on 1 turn because they get smashed, and he runs and hits my my skeleton catapult there. So that's sad. And he killed my Hierophant, so I begin to crumble, which is just wonderful. You can see I took a wound on my other catapult, took a wound on my casket. I think I take another 2 wounds on the damn Shabtis. Kitties are fine. The other archer group's fine. It's just not what I needed, though, man. He did heal a wound also on his general due to druidism, which is, he didn't have divination. I'm sorry, he had druidism. Which I mean, it's fair, I guess. He charges my kitty. We missed. No, this is fair. He does kill my catapult. I do charge his front there, or no, I charged his side with the catapult, but he wins combat. I crumble a little bit, but he turns to face me. He moves, so he's just kind of inside that 6-inch bubble and out of the overrun range of my kitties. I do charge my other kitty into his general, because that's what I do. Why not? And I'm hoping to shoot those elves off the table this turn. We'll see. Yeah, Gorebeast is a beast. I think that guy only wins by like 1. And I ignore the first crumble. So Gorebeast is sitting pretty, holding these guys up. He kills one of my kitties with his general. He just rolls really well in those 2 combat rounds. But my other kitty gets him fine, and crumbles are hurting me as we go too, and that's no fun. But the other kitty wins combat, actually. I think with the flank charge and it being a big flank, and he only did 2 wounds to the other kitty this round, I win by 1. He's stubborn, but he doesn't have a BSB. And he rolls an 11. He breaks. I pursue, and I eat him. So yay! But it's not quite enough to get into his one last unit there. So we tally up the scores at the end of the game, and I'm winning on points, 11-9. But he won the secondary objective. So end of game, Highborn Elves win 12-8. Went from 11 to 9 in my favor to 12-8 in his favor. So good on him. He played the scenario really well, and he took advantage of my many mistakes this game, and he did a great job. It was fun. It was a fun game. I enjoyed it. Yeah. So that's that. A few thoughts. Magic is still super underpowered. Unless it's a balance spell. The caskets are as great as they ever were. And when I use my Soul Colossi, they do well too. But the regular spells, I'm never super scared of the enemies, and I just don't see myself bringing a high-powered mage anymore, which is sad to me. I really feel like it's a loss to the game. It takes out some of that, the magic. Yeah, kind of corny, but the game lost some of its magic, and it's still fun. It's still I'll still play. I'll still throw down dice. It's just not as fun as it used to be. I'm also unsure what to do with my Undying Dynasty list now. I'm going to try some different things. I'm going to experiment. The percentages really constrain me. Winged Reapers being in the same category as Sphinxes is difficult. Colossi being in that same category also makes things difficult. And Gorebeast is a gosh darn hero for holding out against those knights. He did what I think all of us need to do, and just hold on. But thanks, guys. Hopefully this video was in sync. I will check it before I post it, and have a great